10-4. They haven't been giving speeds. I know. He's got to be doing at least 100. At least 100 miles per hour. Yep. Got it. Weaving across all lanes in triple-digit speeds. LAPD right behind him, trying to keep up here. Welcome, everybody, as you join us live on abc7.com and our 24/7 streaming channels. Chris Christie up in Air 7 as LAPD chases this GTA suspect up the 110 freeway in a stolen blue BMW, doing between 70 and 100 miles per hour as he weaves across all lanes of the Harbor Freeway. LAPD taking this in and out of pursuit mode. Right now, you can see that primary unit still trying to keep up at all cost here. He got off the freeway after going southbound from downtown all the way down into San Pedro, turned around now northbound on the 110 freeway, again doing extreme speeds on this Friday night. You can see him weaving across all lanes here, through traffic here, moderate traffic at times, mostly light for the most of this journey. Still, though, a handful of LAPD units able to keep up with him from a distance. That one primary unit, though, really applying pressure despite the extreme speeds here. Now you can see that night sun from the LAPD airship as he remains committed to the northbound side of the 110 freeway. Light traffic coming up on the 105, northbound 110 at the 105 freeway, doing about 90 miles per hour. You can see very little in his way here as he has no problem pushing the pedal to the metal. And here he might be showing signs of moving over to the right lane here, but at these speeds, he is going to get somebody hurt if he continues or even attempts to jam on the brakes or try and get off at these speeds. He's barely slowing down despite the little traffic that there is on the freeway here. LAPD with their airship doing a yeoman's work here as they try and keep that night sun on that suspect between 90 and 100 miles per hour. Unclear whether there's anybody else inside the vehicle besides the driver. This is a stolen BMW, not sure where from. This pursuit has been going on for close to 30 to 40 minutes. LAPD's Wilshire Division heading up this pursuit, waiting for California Highway Patrol to get involved. We believe that this is LAPD still, but again, they're waiting for CHP to take over this pursuit. That was the word that we received a short time ago. We'll see if that's still the plan here as he makes his way further north up the 110 freeway and closer to downtown. Right now we're in South LA, just passing Manchester Avenue. Slowing down a little more volume here on the northbound side of the 110 freeway. Jamming on the brakes. A few more brake lights ahead of him here. That may provoke him to get off of the freeway. We'll see what he does here, but it does look like he's going to take Manchester Avenue. too much traffic on the 110 for this guy getting onto Manchester Avenue. Again, going around traffic here with just really aggressive tactics here as he tries to maneuver through this intersection. He's got the green light there, making the left turn with traffic, but again, really trying to fight the vehicle here. Looks like, is that it looks like a Lexus actually. Looks like a blue Lexus. We had originally heard BMW. It does look like a Lexus, and he has gotten off of the 110 freeway. Off of the 110 freeway at Manchester. Okay, we may lose him here. He's going to be going westbound, making a U-turn now, back eastbound on the 110 freeway. I mean, I'm Manchester, underneath the 110 freeway, excuse me. And it looks like he's going to continue eastbound. So he's continuing eastbound. Can we go east, Maury? Okay. He's eastbound Manchester. Will they let us? Suspect is he's northbound now. We're trying to get a street here. He's just a few blocks east of Main Street. Eastbound Florence from Maine. I gotta turn the desk off. Southbound, southbound. Is that him? Let's go south, yeah. Another left turn now going eastbound through southeast LA here, just east of the 110 freeway rather. Now, did he make the turn or did he go through it? Okay, still going eastbound. Looks like he's picking up speed here. Any sign of those ground units, or they pull off? Yeah. Approaching Alameda. Airship still has the suspect in sight. Getting further away from the freeway here as he continues eastbound through South LA. Might even be an Infinity. Did we confirm if it was a Lexus or an Infinity? Infinity, okay. Making a northbound turn now. 10-4. Another eastbound turn, zigzagging his way through here as he continues to venture further towards the east through side streets. This is all surface area just west, or just east rather, of the 110 freeway. We're now about a mile east of the 110 freeway as he continues to make random turns, and now a random U-turn, now going the other way, southbound now. Turning the lights off. Squeezing through traffic here, kicking up a little dirt, picking up speed, trying to make these turns at very fast speeds here. The aggressive driving continuing as he continues these random turns, lefts and rights. A random U-turn there you saw just a moment ago. Now southbound on Long Beach Boulevard. For a moment there, we did catch a glimpse into the front windshield of the vehicle, and it did appear that the passenger seat was empty. So by all accounts, this is just the driver inside of the stolen vehicle. Again, a blue stolen Infinity, turning now off of Long Beach Boulevard. That was an eastbound turn. And now on Firestone Boulevard. Firestone off of Long Beach Boulevard, eastbound Firestone, with no units behind him. You can see LAPD has now pulled off on the ground. The airship doing all the work here as they try and keep up with him and call out the location. It's yet to be seen whether LAPD will re-enter the picture here or potentially give this up. But right now, there is no sign of law enforcement, at least within sight of this driver. You can see him now blowing through past all that traffic there as the light turns green. Now southbound from Firestone. Any sign of CHP, Robbie? I think he just made a westbound turn. Westbound turn. Is that him? That's him making a left turn now. Another southbound turn. Might be back on Long Beach Boulevard. I think that's Long Beach Boulevard more if you want to let PD know. Copy, thank you. Into a gas station. It looks like law enforcement has now abandoned this pursuit. He's going to go through the gas station here. LAPD has pulled off completely. California Highway Patrol had their helicopter overhead. He is now pulled off. And now we'll see if the driving changes here, if the behavior behind the wheel here changes whatsoever. But right now, it certainly appears that he's applying even more gas to this vehicle and continuing extreme speeds down Long Beach Boulevard. Looks like a freeway entrance here. It's going to get on the 105 freeway, westbound 105. Yeah, let's stick with it. Once again, flying down the freeway here, excess of 80 miles per hour. Once again, if you're just joining us on abc7.com and our 24/7 streaming channels, we're continuing to follow this stolen vehicle down the 105 freeway. Again, this was an LAPD pursuit that started in West LA, ended up on the 110 freeway, made it all the way down to the San Pedro area. He got back onto the 110 freeway, he flipped a U-ey and then started going straight up north, and then got off at Manchester, made his way over towards southwest LA, eventually over to Long Beach Boulevard, and now we find ourselves down here on the 105 freeway, crossing underneath the freeway, now getting back on the freeway. He's going to go eastbound now on the 105, possibly. He's eastbound 105. He's on the eastbound 105 now, getting back on the freeway. He's right there. It looks like is there an airship? Because it looks like there's a night sun behind him. Is that just a bright light? No helicopter. Okay, got it. I think the billboard, the blue billboard. Coming up on the next, he just passed that blue billboard, just past that, these two billboards right here, just passed. Carpool is straddling the HOV lane here, all over the paint. Can you just confirm the street when you can? Back on Long Beach Boulevard. Okay. Okay. Southbound Long Beach now making another westbound turn here, finding another gas station. Might even be the same one. He must be low on gas. Driver stepping out of the vehicle. And he's going to drop it right here. Banning. Oh, he's going to get gas. This driver nervously getting gas after feeling some degree of relief here, although you can tell he's still very animated. He's got his shirt covering his face, clearly aware of the helicopters, but pretty unaware of the fact that he's pretty much on his own down there. There's really nobody pursuing him anymore. All of the law enforcement has pulled off. LAPD has abandoned this pursuit. California Highway Patrol has sent their helicopter off to other assignments. So it looks like he is really just you know, he's got a little wad of cash there maybe. I mean, he couldn't be acting any more suspicious, I'll tell you that. Just dropping the drop. This is wild scene here as he just drops the pump and continues on after a quick splash of gas. Now back on the run here, but there's nobody behind him as he continues to drive like a maniac through here. And now getting back onto Long Beach Boulevard. There's CHP now, just about one block behind him with lights and sirens blaring, and it looks like he might be trying to, no, he's pulling somebody else over. All right, another black and white trying to catch up. Another black and white trying to catch up. Through another major, there's that black and white, just about half a block behind him, trying to make his way through the intersection. The vehicle blacked out. It's a stolen blue Infiniti on the run here after a lengthy pursuit from law enforcement. Law enforcement eventually giving it up, but the suspect behaving very dangerously, very, very erratic behavior here. And after nearly running out of gas, pulled into a gas station, a quick pump, and he was off to the races once again. You can see him now going eastbound, or actually northbound. Northbound, it is northbound, right? Yeah, still northbound Long Beach Boulevard. Northbound 710. Who's that helicopter, Maureen? Is that, got it. Can you up? Air 7 control room. Anybody up? Hey there, we're ready. Yes. Yep. He's flying. Still on the 710. Northbound 710 still. Coming up on the 10. Yeah, Mark, it's been a wild night here for this stolen vehicle, this GTA suspect behind the wheel of the stolen vehicle, a stolen blue Infiniti that originally led LAPD on a wild chase out of West LA onto the 110 freeway about an hour ago, went all the way down the 110 freeway into San Pedro, turned around, California Highway Patrol helping out there. He made his way back up towards Manchester, eventually got off on surface streets and was doing extreme speeds on surface streets. It got too dangerous. Law enforcement eventually pulled off of this pursuit. They abandoned it for quite a while. The guy actually stopped for gas and has now continued the joyride of his life, but eventually ended up in the city of Bell, where Bell police have now picked up this pursuit. He's made his way all the way up the 710 freeway from Bell. Now we're making our way, well, now we're on surface streets. It looks like he might be getting back on the freeway here, but he took the 710 all the way up towards Pasadena, and now we're getting back. It looks maybe like we're getting back on to getting closer to the 10 freeway. He's actually zigzagging his way through East LA here, just off of Ramona. There's the 710, now over the freeway here. I think he's looking for an opportunity to get back on the freeway, but he has been doing ridiculous speeds, Mark, throughout the course of this pursuit, in excess of 100 miles per hour at times. He appears to be the only person in this vehicle, and like I said, he ran this all the way into the ground, out of gas, and eventually filled up again, and now he's really pushing the pedal to the metal on surface streets here in East LA, Mark. Yeah, more narrow streets here in an industrial area here in East LA. You've got City of Bell police on the ground. You've got the sheriff's department overhead here, and he's just kind of making this up as he goes along. We caught a really good look at this suspect. Hopefully at some point now it looks like he might be getting, almost got on the wrong side of the road there. In fact, he is going the wrong way. You can see the Bell police right behind him here as he tries to cross over on the correct side. This is going to be another narrow street here. I was going to say, at some point, I would love to see if we could turn that tape around where he was getting gas. We got a really good look at the suspect, although not a clear look at his face because he was acting extremely suspicious as he stopped for gas, had his shirt over his face. He pumped for about a few minutes, as you mentioned, and then just dropped the pump and then sped off into the night up Long Beach Boulevard. And now we can only presume that he's working with, we can only presume that he's got at least a half a tank.
The ground or in the air, but as you can see from our video earlier, he was still driving very recklessly and treacherously, and that is what caught the attention of law enforcement to again decide to re-engage this person. And you've got Bell police now that have been behind him on the ground. He's on the freeway. What freeway is he on now?
We're in the East LA interchange here. He is now, it looks like he's getting back on to the 10 freeway southbound. This is where all of these freeways get a little squirrely here. So southbound 10 for a little bit, and he'll have to make a decision whether he goes westbound on the 10 or ventures onto the 60 freeway. He could also take, I believe, the 5 freeway from this junction as well here. He's still pushing extreme speeds here, and he's got Bell police behind him. He also has that LA County Sheriff's helicopter overhead as well, and so we'll see. He's got a decision point to make. We'll see if he tries the fake out. Looks like he might be taking the westbound 10 freeway here as he makes his way through the East LA interchange. The behavior there, Mark, as you were mentioning, was really, really remarkable. It really seemed like he might even be under the influence. Really hard to confirm that, but certainly appeared to be extremely agitated. And now as he gets onto the westbound side of the 10 freeway with the vehicle blacked out, we will see if anything changes here whatsoever. He was driving extremely recklessly even without law enforcement behind him, but now that the pressure is back on, it certainly appears that he is willing to be even more daring, with police only maybe 100 or 200 yards behind him here as he continues now with the vehicle blacked out, that helicopter overhead. He may have to end up doing the call out here if those ground units have to fall back. And at some point, I think now, especially as far away from the city of Bell as we are, we have to presume that he is catching the interest of California Highway Patrol, or at the very least, that the city of Bell is asking for assistance from California Highway Patrol, giving them the option of getting involved and taking this over, or whether the city of Bell wants to continue this pursuit. But right now, we are on the freeway in downtown LA, well out of the city of Bell's jurisdiction. Certainly they can continue this pursuit if they choose to. We will see if they hang tight for CHP or if they eventually pull this off, because he is continuing to drive extremely recklessly and extremely fast on a Friday night up the 10 freeway, I should say.
Right. Now, and the city of Bell's connection to this, I'm not sure what it is, other than that at some point he did drive through that city and officers there on the ground engaged with him and tried to follow him.
That's it. Failure to yield, speeding.
Yeah. So he committed those violations in the city of Bell. They pursued him, and I don't know if they're still behind him at this point as we head into downtown LA, and that's another interchange there. We're at the 10, and I'm not sure what the other freeway is there.
At the 110 freeway,
110.
Passing the 110 freeway now firmly on the westbound side of the 10 freeway, just passing downtown LA. That was the Harbor Freeway, and now you can see he's got, I would say, light traffic as he makes his way through here near the West Adams area. I can tell you that the traffic going the other way is a little heavier, so he's on the lighter side of the 10 freeway here with very little resistance. He still has that night sun right on him, and I think that is going to continue to agitate him. If history is any indicator here, he is not going to like that, and he's going to continue to press that gas pedal. And now he's blinking his headlights as he ventures over to the shoulder. The behavior here, Mark, is what's really catching my eye. During the entire course of this joyride, which started well over an hour ago now, has been extremely erratic, obviously very dangerous and reckless, but just so unpredictable and so bizarre at times that you don't even know what to make of it. There's no strategy here. This all appears to be random behavior. He's had every opportunity, I should also mention, to just abandon the vehicle and hide into the night, but he hasn't taken that opportunity. Instead, he has antagonized multiple jurisdictions and continued this dangerous joyride.
Northbound now on Arlington from the 10 freeway, and there's quite a bit of traffic. A lot of cars here, a fairly narrow street. Looks like apartment buildings and homes on either side. He's kind of going down the middle there. The night sun is on him. Going to another gas station. I don't think he's getting gas this time. He's just using it to cut through. But that was on Arlington, northbound. Now it looks like he's going to continue west on whatever street this is. We'll get that in a second. Yeah, he got away from a lot of traffic. There were a lot of cars around him. He may not have expected that.
Yeah, no, he definitely wasn't expecting that, and I would say if he continues west, he could be okay, but if he continues north towards Hollywood, things will bunch up on him a little more here. Right now he's in Arlington Heights, and he's got a wide-open major here, and he's using it, and it doesn't appear that at least, Rob, can you tell, did Bell fall back? I think, yeah. Okay, so Bell is still following, but they have fallen way back and are not behind him at the moment. They're a few blocks away, but they're letting that helicopter, LA County Sheriff, do the work here of keeping a visual on the suspect as he continues now to parallel the 10 freeway. We're moving westbound through Koreatown, basically. And he's now got more units pulling up here behind him. Keep the camera where it is, Robbie, but I can tell you, Mark, that there are a couple of additional units. These may be the same Bell units or potentially LAPD. Do you know, Rob? Those are the original pursuing officers. So we've got two Bell police officers several blocks back here with their lights and sirens on, continuing to try and keep up with him, but they're not pulling up behind him. They're staying back and following at this point. Again, letting that sheriff's helicopter do the work here. He's now made a southbound turn towards the 10 freeway. Let's see if he tries to get back on the freeway.
All right, southbound from Washington. He was in Arlington Heights. We don't know exactly what street he's on yet, but we will find out. If you're in this neighborhood, as you can see, there are homes on what appears to be on either side of this street. Stay in your home. He's on La Brea, so that is a busy street on a Friday night, depending on how far south you go. It's going to be busy. It's going to get toward Wilshire, and it's going to do that.
He's got an opportunity to get back on the freeway, and I think he's going to take it. He's going to head eastbound. Yeah, that's the entrance ramp right there. He's going to be taking the eastbound side, and so he'll be getting back on the 10 freeway here, now going eastbound with traffic. And as you just saw moments ago, Mark, this is going to be the heavier side of traffic for him. So he's going to have a few more brake lights, a lot more volume, and we'll see if he sticks with it or just gets right back off the freeway. Something tells me he may just jump off if he sees that traffic is too slow for his liking. But that helicopter was able to keep a visual. I do not know whether those ground units were able to get back on, but they are. They're getting back on right now. So maybe now that it's back on, they'll pull up behind him now that it's back on the freeway. I'm a little bit surprised that at this point we still have not seen any participation yet by California Highway Patrol. They were involved earlier on in this pursuit. Their helicopter was helping out LAPD, but we have not seen CHP re-engage this suspect. And so right now, you've got a number of jurisdictions working cooperatively to try and see how this ends. You just get this gut feeling that they are intent on pulling him over at some point and bringing this guy into custody with all of the danger that he has posed to the public here this evening. You can see why. But the dangerous nature of this pursuit by itself has also been a mitigating factor and mitigating risk for every single agency that he has encountered, which is why he has had so much freedom and is now using that freedom here on the 10 freeway with only that helicopter shining the light overhead here. They want to be ready when he does eventually come to a stop, but right now they are giving him as much rope to choke himself as they can, figuratively speaking. But if he continues this dangerous driving, he will get hurt.
Well, yeah, and the fact that, you know, there's much more traffic. He's been doing what he's doing now. He's blinking his lights at people. He's flashing his brights to try to get people to move over. Some are doing it, some aren't. But the traffic, as you pointed out earlier, is heavier on the eastbound side of the 10 freeway than it was on the west, and he is having to weave his way through at high speeds. And with every weave, every turn of the wheel, when the speeds are high, carries with it the risk that he will lose control of this blue Infinity, and that could pose a risk to not only him, but everybody else around him. Officers still pursuing him, and you mentioned it was a number of agencies. Is he getting on the 110 now?
He's pulling over to the shoulder here. He's using every inch of pavement at his disposal. He's still got about a half a mile left before he encounters the 110, so we'll see if he entertains that option. Looks like he's actually pulling back over to the left, but I cannot tell you the number of times, Mark, that I thought he just might lose control handling this vehicle, but he's actually had remarkable control of this vehicle despite all of despite the speed and all of the obstacles in his way. And now once again over the gore point here, squeezing by using that shoulder to get around. He's choosing not to get on the 110 freeway. He's now bypassed the exit ramp here. He's committed to the 10 freeway still.
And look at the traffic. There's a lot of cars. There's more cars now bunching up around him and in front of him. He's trying, it looks like he's just trying to find a clear path, an area with less traffic. But as we see with each turn of the
I really thought that would scare him off. I thought that by the way he's been making his decisions, I really thought that this traffic would, you know, kind of get him to think twice about staying on the freeway. But he apparently feels more comfortable on the freeway than surface streets, and that does jive with what we've seen so far tonight. Remember earlier on in this pursuit, Mark, he took the 10 freeway over to downtown and then took the 110 freeway all the way down to San Pedro. He had a wide open freeway to play with. He made it all the way to the end and just made a U-turn, got back on the northbound side, just playing cat and mouse with law enforcement here. So he appears to be more comfortable speeding down the freeway. He seems to be looking for a big thrill here that he's not getting on surface streets, but where he's able to really exercise the power of the sports car on the freeway.
Yeah, and you know, as you pointed out earlier, there were plenty of times he had been pursued, they backed off the pursuit, he had enough time to get gas, which means he definitely had enough time to just get out of the vehicle, walk away, and had a decent chance of getting away with this. And he chose not to. He got gas for the vehicle, stuck with it, and got back, you know, kept driving erratically to the point where officers re-engaged. And so now they're behind him, now they're above him in the helicopter, and the pursuit is still on, and his freedom definitely at risk, and this will probably end with him having to go to jail. Where are we now? He just got off.
A wild turn there. He thought he was maybe going to get back on the freeway the way he was going around that semi-tractor trailer. He's now going to head underneath the 10 freeway. I don't have the exact cross street at the moment, but he's going to end up in the Fashion District here if he continues to come out the other side of this overpass, or he could pull the classic move. There he is. He's coming out the other side. No, that's not him. He is now underneath. Oh, he's out.
He bailed.
He's out. He pulled it. He bailed under the freeway, and the vehicle is rolling. Law enforcement pulling up here, spotting the lonely vehicle, the empty vehicle, and that suspect is on foot right behind them. You have to presume that he is now hiding underneath the 10 freeway. And that vehicle just rolled into a light pole, and the pursuit is over, and now it becomes a manhunt for that suspect, that driver who pulled maybe the smartest move of his night underneath the 10 freeway, just dumping the vehicle where he was out of sight from law enforcement, out of sight from the helicopters, and gosh, if he walks away from this, I tell you, this was a wild one, Mark.
Indeed. Well, let's revisit the video from the gas station. Let's put that in one corner of the screen if we can, so that we can get a very accurate description of this individual that will perhaps lead to help his apprehension. There he is there. He's got on that baseball cap, black in front, white in the rear. He seems heavy set. Not sure the height, maybe 5'8", 5'7", 5'10". I don't know. It's hard for me to guess from the vehicle, but he was wearing shorts, black shoes. There he is. And so it's possible that maybe somebody got, met up with him underneath that ramp, underneath the freeway, and he got into another car heading in the other direction. But so far, this manhunt yielding nothing. He hid his face, but there's only so much you can do. So they're searching right now.
City of Bell, yeah, they're searching. They got their flashlights out here. I believe it's just still those 2 units from Bell that are now, CHP, I'm sorry. So there's a City of Bell out here, as well as the California Highway Patrol, which is now pulled up here underneath the 10 freeway to help look for that suspect. Also, the Sheriff's Department continuing to scour the area. They are canvassing now this industrial area just underneath the freeway here, and obviously you could tell just from this shot right here. I mean, this is what it looks like. There's just so many hiding spots. If he was able to jump one of these fences and hide in private property, he didn't have to get very far. He could just hide out and see if he can wait it out. But right now, it looks like this is going to come to a very dissatisfying end for law enforcement.
Well, we have seen in the past, and apparently, just a jury ran texting me right now, this happened twice in one day a couple of weekends ago, where somebody was in a pursuit. They got to an overpass. Somebody met them there, and they got in the other car and took off. And we've seen that a growing tactic. Go ahead.
And we've just gotten word from the Sheriff's Department that it does appear that they have reason to believe that that suspect jumped out of the car under the freeway and into another vehicle. Mm-hmm. That's alarming, if you ask me, because the chances of a meetup under these circumstances did not seem to be on the bingo card. Mm-hmm. If he did get into another vehicle, you have to wonder whether he just carjacked somebody to get out of here. That has to be a leading possibility if, in fact, that information from the Sheriff's Department proves to be correct. He jumped out of the vehicle, under the freeway, and into another car. So a carjacking, a likely possibility. Maybe there was another vehicle that he hotwired, but it all happened so quick that also seems a bit unlikely as well.
Yeah, because as you were pointing out, as we were watching this unfold, there didn't seem to be a lot of purpose and or direction, like he had a destination that he was heading to that would indicate that he was going to meet up with somebody. Maybe we're wrong about that. Certainly, if we had of the 2 scenarios that could lead to him being in another car, it would be better if it was an accomplice rather than an innocent victim who was carjacked. But either way, it does appear, as you're hearing, as we're hearing, that he got into another vehicle and has gotten away from the scene, leaving the stolen car, as we see there, headfirst into that power pole with no driver, no one inside. Now, what's also true is that a lot of fingerprints got left behind on that vehicle, unless he was driving with gloves on. We certainly didn't see that. So there's a way to search this person out if he has a criminal record, and or they can tie him to this if and when they catch him at another location. So it's not over yet, but in the long term, but at least in the short term, it appears it is over for now, that they have lost this suspect, that he under the what is it, the 10 freeway, he got off.
The 10 freeway.
He got off. What street is this? What street is he on? Was the pursuit ending? What street? We'll find that out. But go ahead.
No, I just want to confirm. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's going to be. I'm sorry. I think it might be Central Avenue.
Okay.
I think it might be Central Avenue, Rob, right? Yeah, it's Central Avenue that they're looking at. Central Avenue underneath the 10 freeway.
Right. So, you know, it's possible to coordinate, of course, and decide you're going to link up at Central Avenue under the 10 freeway. You've got to have a pretty good understanding of the geography of the city to know which streets would pass under the freeway and how much space you'll have and whether there's a way to get out of there. All sorts of things that need to be calculated and dealt with. But, you know, it has definitely happened before. It's happened repeatedly before, especially within the last year or so, and even more frequently in the last 6 months or so, where we have seen people either commandeer a vehicle under an overpass, carjack them, or meet up with an accomplice who is helping them to escape.
And I stand corrected. We're one interchange over. We're actually at Alameda and the 10 freeway.
All right, so here's the video.
And,
what you're looking at here is the video. I'm sorry to interrupt. The video of him going, heading to that underpass. And Air 7, of course, you know, poised to see if he comes out the other side. We don't see that. You widened out, and looks like one or two cars headed in the other direction. We saw that SUV that kind of took off in that direction. Maybe it was that SUV that we first kind of focused on, thinking that was a vehicle. Nope, that's not the one. And then the other one comes crawling out. Maybe it was that SUV, that first one, that was kind of moving
Mark,
quickly.
that's the one they're eyeing. That's the one they're eyeing. Yeah, they think that may be the vehicle that he got into.
Okay. Well, that would explain it.
That's the information they're going with. And now, if that's the case, by the way, that's a huge advantage because now they could use cameras in the area to follow that vehicle, and maybe even get a license plate, and then use the LPRs to track down that vehicle if he continues in this part of downtown LA, which is heavily covered with lots of cameras.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, as my dad used to say, all goodbyes ain't gone. This thing may not be done yet, and there will be an investigation and perhaps an arrest, but not immediately. It may come later. In the meantime, it has been, and if we get any more information, we will of course go back to this story. But we have to talk about, among other things, the hot weather that has been an emergency for a lot of people here in Southern California, and that is not over yet either. Dallas Raines joining us now.
That's right, Mark. We had record-breaking high temperatures today in Southern California, including this 110 reading. And guess what else happened? We had a return to the monsoonal moisture. Look at this thunderstorm that was out over Arizona, and we saw some of these going on too in Southern California today. Up at Barstow, they had some strong gusty winds. We're going to see that again for tomorrow. Other high temperatures today, there's the record at Woodland Hills. Lancaster tied that at 106 today. Live Meganopolis shows still more action right along the Colorado River, and this is moving in our direction. When we go to the satellite imagery, you can see that not only is that coming, but the red flag is going to stay with us overnight tonight, through the day tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we're going to have to keep that heat going for us, too. These thunderstorms can produce flash flooding. And today, as I mentioned, that strong downdraft went right through the Barstow area, and that generated winds of 45 miles per hour. Here's another batch of moisture coming up tonight. So we're going to see a lot of weather going on this weekend, and most of it's going to be extremely hot. Early tomorrow morning, slight chance of a few showers coming through L.A. So this is around sunrise in the morning. No thunder, and then it kind of regenerates again during the afternoon hours, get a little bit of break. It's just hot and humid, and then we'll see a chance of thunderstorms in the mountains and deserts. Here are the highs again tomorrow.
It was a nice car. Let me see. Are you playing? I don't see it. That one there. Had to be, yeah. Yep. Copy. You got it. Yeah, this pursuit termination now turning into a crime scene here. Some people coming out to take a look at what's going on along Alameda underneath the 10 freeway, where California Highway Patrol and the City of Bell Police are looking for clues as to what happened to the driver of that vehicle right there in the center of your screen, a GTA suspect behind the wheel of that stolen blue Infiniti. Jumped out of the vehicle underneath the 10 freeway. The vehicle rolled right into that light pole, and it is believed that the suspect got into another SUV underneath the freeway and basically disappeared into the night just north of the 10 freeway. And at this point, an investigation is now underway to try and figure out his next moves and what exactly happened there. Was it a meetup with a buddy, or was it a carjacking or something else? But obviously a major scene down here in East LA. Mark, back to you.
Yeah, it's interesting. They put yellow tape up. I don't know whether that was for crowd control or whether this is an indicator of something more serious or sinister happening with that vehicle. I'm guessing, given people were starting to kind of gather around it, so maybe it is just for crowd control. But yeah, it looks like you got the City of Bell, the Highway Patrol, a number of other agencies that have been involved in this. They are now looking for that other vehicle that apparently he got into. There it is in the video to your right. That SUV that sped out from underneath that overpass and took off from the scene, while the stolen car just creeps toward that telephone pole and ultimately is stopped by that telephone pole. So yeah, the suspect is out and on the loose after a very wild pursuit that, among other things, saw the suspect stop for gas at a point where the police pursuing agencies had backed off. That's video we have from earlier too. He actually stopped at this gas station, got out, filled up the tank, it would appear, and during that time there were no police around him, no police behind him, no apparently officers above him that we know of, and so he very casually filled up the car with gas, covering his face at the time. But you get a good look now at who this person is. Even though you don't get to see his face, you get a pretty good description of what he looks like. And he fills up the tank and then drives off. And what got him re-engaged here was the fact that he continued to drive so erratically after he had filled up his tank. For this entire time, there were no officers behind him. He could have walked away from this car and would have gotten away scot-free. He chose not to do that, instead getting back on the freeways, driving at high speeds, basically forcing police to continue to pursue him and getting to the point where he is now under the 10 freeway, where that pursuit ended with him getting into another vehicle. We'll try to have more information for you on later editions of Eyewitness News. I guess I should say earlier editions of Eyewitness News, beginning tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. I'm Mark Brown along with Chris Christie. Thanks for watching. Good night.